Welcome to the Worldliness of Poetry. My name is John Barton, the City of Victoria Poet Laureate. I acknowledge with respect the Lekwungen-speaking peoples and the Songhees and Esquimalt First Nations, whose historical relationship with the land upon which my fellow local poets and I reside as guests is ongoing today and shall continue into the future, and with whom we also cohabitate this virtual space. The Worldliness of Poetry was originally to be a public reading on April 7, 2020, at the Central Branch of the Greater Victoria Public Library to mark National Poetry Month, the theme of which this year celebrates the many poetries practiced around the world. Of course, this public reading had to be postponed as we all self-isolate in order to combat the spread of COVID-19. I had invited 3 Victoria area poets, Terry Ann Carter, Derk Wynand, and Christine Walde, to read on April 7th because their work generously illustrates how diverse traditions of poetry live among us here on the southern tip of Vancouver Island. Terry Ann is known for her mastery of traditional Japanese forms in a modern context. Derk, while principally renowned as a poet, is also a remarkably adept translator of German and French poetry. And Christine is well recognized for using her considerable gifts as a poet to respond innovatively to the work of the French surrealist painter Marcel Duchamp. This online initiative is intended to give you a taste of the worldliness we've had to forego when the reading was cancelled, and also to whet your appetite for a future reading that I hope, no indeed plan to host before March 31st, 2021. Fingers crossed it can be rescheduled sooner rather than later. Now please enjoy the work of Christine Walde, Derk Wynand, and Terry Ann Carter in this virtual prequel to the Worldliness of Poetry.
Station 40, Narumi. When the street invites the work of artists. You would love this summer paint-in, Hiroshige. I can see you sketching figures for your woodblocks under the gazebo, corner of Moss and Fort Streets, your shy tea merchants, your grumbling ferrymen. You would enjoy the afternoon, especially the young entrepreneur charging 25 cents to jump on his pogo stick. You knew how to make money selling shunga in the busy streets of Edo. You would want to draw the 2 sisters in yellow sundresses, capture the curve of their shoulders. In the art gallery of Greater Victoria, some of your ukiyo-e prints on postcards in the gift shop. Lawn sprinkler, painted faces disappearing into sunset.
Keluge Palace. In the great hall of mirrors, among the cut crystal and the gold, and the angels painted on the ceiling, you flung out your arms all at once and began to spin in circles, in wider and wider circles across a marble floor where Dom Pedro had danced with Dona Maria, his future queen. And I could hardly believe my eyes, though you danced in every mirror and on every facet of glass and on each of the marble tiles on the floor and in the gold. And the best angel slowly peeled away from the ceiling to fly after long years of waiting just for that moment. It was before noon on August 3rd, 1986. And no matter how I pinched myself or rubbed my eye, he did not stop swinging you round in wider and wider circles as I stood by, stupefied, stupid, only watching helpless. And your feet slowly rose from the polished marble, and you floated in a straight line now, out of the hall with the angel toward one of the smaller chambers which not even the king's own servants had ever been allowed to enter, toward a room without glass or gold where, mercifully, I could not watch you.
Apparition of Appearances. Through
Wire
the warm
the notes
slit
carefully
against
the
waterfall
unevenly
spills
danced
over
pooled
the hard
no
mound.
shadows fumes
Its
the
crevice
mensurable
clean,
limit volt
rubbed
miracle
smooth
blossom turn
to
black.
stone.
A coil
Mist
clouds
permeates the air,
diaphanous, three
masking
dimensions
the
mirrored
swirling
in
gas,
fourth dimension
invisible
space,
above.
fluttering capillaries,
Garments fall to the
oh,
steel
how light
line
with the
of the
displacement,
horizon,
the chariot
burning
journeyed,
with
emancipated,
sun.
the filament
The
substance,
armies
hilarious,
of uniforms
bright
run,
hues, spangles,
tumbling
resplendent,
sieves.
Prussian appear,
Oh,
de facto
endless
colorization,
cascades.
the crashes,
The
mold
sighs
stirred
pile
confusion,
up
a cemetery
in an
of the
orgy,
subtle uniforms,
unfulfilled.
the vanishing, oxide splinters, to inevitable decay.
Haiku. Alone in Tokyo, even the chopsticks in pairs. Underground parking, no space for the moon. The bent walnut tree carved out of silence, winter sunset. Adagio over the inlet, moonlight shimmer.
Hans Karl Artmann from Sweat and Industry, Fleiß und Industrie. 6. A cabinet maker. The cabinet maker's building a cupboard with many shelves. Glue and nail are his familiars. He drinks a beer and busies himself with varnish. At one point he goes into the kitchen and looks for matches. The water in the whistling kettle begins to boil. Lots of privets are growing outside the window. The cabinet maker applies the plane to every unevenness. He gets married in an arbor. He fashions the rockers of a cradle. He designs a starling house. He sets to work on the legs of a dining table. The cabinet maker longs for a blue varnish. He hammers a bent nail straight. His wife cooks goulash. She has fetching blonde hair and black petticoats. Once a chair is ready, the cabinet maker sits on it. He tries it out. He looks at the time. For January, a linden tree. For February, an oak. For March, a plane tree. For April, a willow. For May, a locust tree. For June, a maple. For July, an alder. For August, a larch. For September, a beech tree. For October, a spruce. For November, a birch. For December, an elm. The cabinet maker wipes his hands clean with a cloth. He eats a piece of bacon. A circus comes to town. The cabinet maker has a ringside seat. He laughs at the clown's antics and pokes his wife in the ribs. He builds a podium that lions can stand on. One summer's evening, the cabinet maker plays cards with his colleagues. He wins or loses. He leads with a 20. He has a tweed jacket and a new tie. His fingers still show brownish traces of varnish. Hans-Karl Artmann, ein Schreiner. Der Schreiner baut einen Schrank mit vielen Fächern. Leim und Nagel sind ihm vertraute Personen. Er trinkt ein Bier und hantiert mit Politur. Er geht einmal in die Küche und sucht nach Streichhölzern. Das Wasser im Pfeiftopf fängt zu brodeln an. Vor dem Fenster wächst Liguster in jeder Menge. Mit dem Hobel setzt der Schreiner allen Unebenheiten zu. In einer Laube hält er Hochzeit, er zimmert die Schaukelteile einer Wiege, er entwirft einen Starenkasten, er macht sich an die Beine eines Esstisches. Die Sehnsucht des Schreiners ist blauer Lack. Er haut einen krummen Nagel gerade. Seine Frau kocht Gulasch. Sie hat Kesses blondes Haar und einen schwarzen Unterrock. Ist so ein Stuhl fertig, nimmt der Schreiner darauf Platz. Er erprobt seinen Wert, er guckt nach der Uhr. Dem Januar eine Linde, dem Februar eine Eiche, dem März eine Platane, dem April eine Weide, dem Mai eine Robinie, dem Juni eine Ahorn, dem Juli eine Erle, dem August eine Lerche, dem September eine Buche, dem Oktober eine Fichte, dem November eine Birke, dem Dezember eine Ulme. Der Schreiner wischt sich mit einem Putzlappen die Hände sauber. Er isst ein Stück Speck. Ein Zirkus kommt in die Ortschaft. Der Schreiner hat einen ersten Platz. Er lacht über die Spaße des Clowns und stößt seine Frau in die Seite. Er baut ein Podest, auf dem Löwen stehen können. An einem Sommerabend spielt der Schreiner mit Kollegen Karten. Er gewinnt oder verliert, er spielt eine 20 aus. Er hat ein Tweed-Jacket und einen neuen Selbstbinder. Seine Finger haben noch immer die bräunliche Spur der Politur.